Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün İrlanda'nın ilk teknoloji üniversitesi TU Dublin'den Sara bizlerle birlikte olacak. Lütfen sorularınızı sağ alt köşede Questions bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Yes, Sarah, the stage is yours now.
Thanks, Zainab. Merhaba, everyone. I'm going to share a presentation and just talk to you about the university that I work for, Technological University Dublin, and a little bit about Ireland as well. So I'll go through the presentation and then I will come back to the chat box and answer any questions that you may have, okay? Actually, before I do that, you'll see in the chat box, I have kind of anticipated a few questions and just shared a few links to our YouTube channel. So there's some really, really helpful and just nice videos showing off our brand new campus. And then shared our Instagram link as well, which I would love a follow if you are on Instagram. It's just a really handy way to ask me any questions, even after this presentation. So I'm just going to share my screen. So this is our new logo. So as Zainab introduced me, my name is Sarah and I work for Technological University Dublin. I'm in the international office, and Turkey is a country that I am recruiting students from and talking to lovely students like you guys today. So starting off with a map, most people do know where Ireland is, but I always like to put it in because some people don't. So we're at the very, very edge of Europe, right beside the UK. So not too far from you guys. And just some images of just showing how stunning Ireland is. We have a very rich culture, absolutely brilliant student cities that are very student friendly. This is Dublin, where we are. That's just my nice little visual intro before I get into all the information to tell you. So a little bit about Ireland. So it's a very, very safe and friendly country. We are, if you Google this, we're usually top 10 for being a safe country and a friendly country to live in. We're the only English-speaking country in the EU at the moment, which is kind of nice little niche for us since the UK left, obviously. We offer a graduation visa. So when you study in Ireland, if you studied a bachelor's, you get a 1-year graduation visa. And if you study a master's, you can get a 2-year stay-back visa. So it's a nice little thing that after your study, you're not in a rush to kind of like, find a job in a hurry. You have a lot of time. So it's a nice little bonus for students. You can work part-time when you study as well in Ireland. So you can work 20 hours a week while you're studying. And anytime you're not in classes, essentially, so Christmas break, Easter break, anything like that, you can work full time. So Ireland is known as the pharma and the IT hub of Europe. So we have a lot of typically American multinational corporations that set up their EU headquarters and operate out of Dublin. So even after COVID and everything, where people were working remotely, they haven't left, so they're still in Dublin. And the pharma as well, we're known as the pharma hub of Ireland because mainly down the south of Ireland, we have a lot of pharmaceutical companies that, again, operate their EU headquarters out of Ireland. So from TU Dublin and Ireland in general, we have internationally recognized degrees. So you can study in Ireland and go on to work anywhere else in the world. And the universities that we have in Ireland are world renowned. So a little bit about us. We are a brand new university, and what we say is we're where the arts, business, science, engineering, and technology converge. So it can be commonly misunderstood because of our name, Technological University, that we just do tech, but we do so much more. Again, we have internationally recognized degrees that we offer. We're the top 4% worldwide and the top 250 young universities worldwide. So a little, some stats about us. We're the biggest university in Ireland. So we've 29,700 students. 2,500 of those students are international, and they come from 138 different countries. We have 3,500 staff, so really, really big university, and we have 3 campuses, all in Dublin. So what we offer you as well is, well, as you can see, there's a summer school, foundation, right up to PhD. So you could literally enter TU Dublin at the the bottom of, foundation, and learn and progress and leave with a PhD. So just an idea of the fees that we have. So we'll go straight for bachelor's. So bachelor's is 13,500. Now I did that exchange the last time I presented, actually, now that I think about it. So it might be a little bit different, but we can do that online after the presentation. But 13,500 is for a year. So as you can see, a bachelor's would be typically 4 years would be an honours degree. So you have to multiply that by 4 years. And all the areas, as I was saying, we're not just into technology. So you've got music and drama, chemistry, a lot of science and biosciences. Architecture is becoming very, very popular with us as well. A lot of creative arts, design and media, maths, languages. I don't want to read out the whole screen, but please take a look at our website and go straight to the programs that we offer, and you can see all of the different programs that we have. So a few things of when I'm talking to international students like you guys, usually face to face when they're on the campus, and we're kind of asking them what it is that they really enjoy about TU Dublin. A lot of our international students will say that they love the small class sizes. So our classes, you mightn't get a class any bigger than 40 to 45. So it's something that the students really like. Obviously, you're coming to a brand new country and you have to make friends, and it's just a more intimate setting. And then see the student to staff ratio, obviously from a lecturer's point of view, the lecturers are really, really friendly, and it just means that they have, well, less people to get to know in their class. So they know their students by name, and you can stop them in the corridor and ask them questions, and they have a bit more time for you because they don't have 100 or more people in their class, So it's something nearly all students say that they absolutely love. Industry connections. I'll go to that one first. So we have a lot of industry connections. Obviously, we're in Dublin, and Dublin is the capital of Ireland. For a lot of about 95% of our bachelor's degrees, so typically they're 4 years, and in the 3rd year, we take students out of the classroom and they're placed into a company related to the field that they're studying, and you get 6 to sometimes 9 months, because it can run throughout the summer, of an internship. Now, some of the internships are paid, which is fantastic, but it just means that our students are graduating with both the degree and the real life hands-on experience, and it's just absolutely brilliant for them, for then going to employers. It's how a lot of our students would get employed as well if they don't go on to study further, say a master's, because the companies that we work with are so impressed with our students, and we're constantly in contact with these companies as well to kind of always be current in that. Like, we'll be asking industries what skills and capabilities do our students need for your industry, and they're constantly feeding it back, and we update our programs so we're giving the best graduates. Academic and student support. So I think I might go on to this in another slide, but there's a lot of supports for students. So I'll go to the student support. So we have things like medical centres on campus. You have access to counselling if you need it, because obviously you're a long way from home. There's academic support in terms of if you need, say, improvement in your maths for an engineering program that you might be on. There's maths classes that you can take as well on top of your program. So any type of, if you have a disability, we have a disabilities office. Any type of help that you need, we have someone on campus that is there and more than willing to offer you the help, and we want you to do so well. State-of-the-art campus in a student-friendly city. So that's kind of, I hope it's self-explanatory. So Dublin is a very, very student-friendly city. It's the capital of Ireland. So there's particularly now as well that restrictions in Ireland have lifted. So I'm so thrilled for our students that they get the student life that they really, really wanted. So there's more nightlife happening, more events. So in September, I think everyone has their fingers crossed that this pandemic is over. But in September, I hope that that's the kind of life that you'll get and what you deserve. State-of-the-art campus. So we have a brand new campus that we've built over the last 4 years, maybe even more. So the images that you see at the side of my presentation is just kind of a snippet of what we've built. And then clubs and sports. So this is another thing that we offer and we would really, really encourage. It's like €12, I think, to join a club or a society, and they are always on campuses kind of advertising themselves and wanting students to join. So it's a great way, as I said, you have small class sizes, and it's a great way of meeting even more people, and maybe people who share an interest in, I don't know, basketball or sailing or rock climbing. Honestly, we have it all. So I would encourage students to join, if you can. So making applications. So we have an online application system. So if you go to tudublin.ie, that's our website, and you will notice when you're looking through all the different programs that we have, every program has its own program page, and it'll outline what you study, whether it's an internship, how long it's for, entry requirements. To the right-hand side, typically there's an apply now button that jumps out. You click on that and it's so straightforward. It's about like 5 steps. You upload what I'll go through now. So the IELTS is something that we would look for. So IELTS, typically it will say on the program pages, because there's some programs that want a higher IELTS than others. So for example, like journalism or languages and law, they would need a higher IELTS. So typically for a bachelor's, for example, it would be 6 overall, and no lower than 6 in most bands. Again, you have to look at the web page, because sometimes they're 6.5 and no lower than 6. I have 70% and above average just for this presentation, because it's easier. Again, like the English language requirement, it will state it on the website of what you need. But to give students, when I'm talking to them, to give them an idea, you'd need an average of 70% in your high school results. So for masters, I have the GPA there. So when you're on our website and you see that we ask for a 2.2 or a 2.1, so a 2.2 is equivalent to a 2.5 out of 4 GPA. And if you're applying for a master's and we ask for a 2.1, which is just an Irish thing, that means that we're looking for a 3 out of 4 GPA. But again, if you ever have any questions about entry requirements, I'll leave my email in the chat and we can discuss over email, and I can share anything else with you. So when you're applying, you also need certified copies of your transcripts, your IELTS, and you need references as well. And in order to, so say you make the application and our admissions office want to make you an offer, and they do, you need to pay 50% of the fees to secure your place. So that's also a requirement for immigration. So again, down the line, if you're applying for a visa with our Irish embassy, which I believe is in Ankara, you would need to show the receipt to show I have a place on this program and I've paid 50%. So accommodation is a question that I would get from students. We have a huge city centre campus and 2 smaller campuses as well. So we have accommodation links all over the city. So it just depends on your budget and the campus that you're studying in. So these are just 2 screenshots from student campus providers that we actually work with. So what we do is we have an accommodations office and we block book a certain amount of rooms in accommodation providers all over Dublin City. So if you say to us that you're studying business on this campus, we can say, okay, here's all the options for you if you don't want to maybe travel too far to your campus, or, it's all dependent on what the student can afford as well. We also have host families that we can link you up with. Say if you just kind of want to get a sense of what the city is like and you don't want to go into a room like this on your own, we have host families that you can live with for 2-3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, and just kind of find your feet. And then we also have a database, it's called Student Pad, which you can access. You don't even have to be a student of ours just yet. You can access with your by registering with your own email, and you get a link or a list of other privately rented rooms, say in another house, with maybe other students who are studying in another university, or maybe young professionals who just have a room and they want to rent it out. So there's loads of styles to suit different age groups and different budgets. And again, maybe when you apply and then you're looking at applying for the visa, then accommodation can be something that you can look at after. So this is just my little plea to follow us on Instagram. And yes, I will go back to answering some questions, I hope. No. Have I not got any questions? Or am I missing them?
It's on the questions section, Sarah.
Okay. Where is that though? I can just see
Next
chat.
to chat.
Pardon?
Next to chat. Chat questions.
Oh, I don't see any. Oh, I see them. Sorry. Yep. Cool. Okay. Scholarships. Yes. Why didn't I? Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Scholarships. We don't have a scholarship at the moment. What I will do is there's a Government of Ireland scholarship. I just don't have the tab open to copy the link into the chat, but there's a Government of Ireland scholarship. If you just Google it, it's usually on Education in Ireland, that fantastic website, and they will have links to say when you can apply. Did I miss one? Do you accept only IELTS? Is TOEFL or Duolingo? Yes, no, we accept all of them. If you go onto our website, tudublin.ie/international is where a lot of your information is going to be. If you go onto that, you can see all the English language tests that we accept. And I believe that Duolingo was just a really handy one for students over COVID, and we still accept that as well. So it's fantastic. And likewise with the TOEFL, the internet-based test, like there's a good few of them. Should I go back to the bottom actually? 1 second. Hang on, I just don't want to miss any. Okay, so I'll start at the bottom. Do you have any dual diploma degree programs with American universities? No. Let me think. Not dual, but there are options in certain programs where you can take part in kind of like we have Erasmus as well, where our students can be essentially studying most of their years with us, and then we'll go for 1 semester to a partner university in either Europe, and we also have some partner universities in America, but it depends on the program as well. So what I will do is I will put my email in the chat box before I exit this, and you can maybe reach out to me and tell me what program you're interested in, and then I can let you know if there's an option for you to escape to America for a bit. Do you help with language preparation after registration, or do you need language proficiency to register? Yeah, that's a tricky one, isn't it? So in order to be offered a full offer on the program, you would need to provide us with the English language proficiency. But say you were just half a band short on what we require for your program, we have foundation year. So we have a foundation year that we could offer for 1.5 years, a full year, or a half a year. You could come in the summer if you were a half a band below what we ask of in the IELTS, for example. So that would be your offer, and that would entitle you to register, but you'd be registering for our foundation program with the hopes that you would improve, and then you would go into the program that you really, really want. I hope that makes sense. But our foundation year, we tailor it to students and what they need. So yeah, there's three length durations. So I think that's more than enough for what most people would need. I see that there is no department. No. So yeah, when I say at the start, we're technological, but we do so much more. We don't do medicine, physiotherapy, dentistry. You could try my colleagues in Trinity, UCD, UCC, UL. There's fantastic universities in Ireland that would that are really renowned for their medical departments. Are we able to get work permit after we graduate? If yes, for how long? Yeah, you sure can. So when you're studying a bachelor's, you can apply for a 1-year graduate visa, which is, sorry, I know you're asking about work permit. When you get the graduate visa, so that's essentially just in place in order to allow students when they graduate, as a thank you for choosing Ireland, this is just your time to then go and look for work. So you can be employed on the graduate visa, and then what your employer will do is kind of shift you over to a work permit. So that's the graduate visa is just kind of like buying you time. So the bachelor's, sorry, when you graduate from bachelor's, you get 1 year, and when you graduate from master's, you get 2-year graduate visa. I hope that answered your question. How is the career opportunities for international students after graduation? So it all depends on the program and the areas that they've studied. As I was saying about the industry connections that we have, and particularly in the bachelor's, where we're able to dedicate 6 to 9 months of a work placement for a lot of our programs. That's how a lot of our students would be employed after they graduate. We also have a careers office on each of our campuses. So the careers offices are fantastic. What they do is they essentially give you all the skills and the confidence essentially to apply for jobs, to go for interviews. They're constantly updating what jobs are out there. They invite employers in to kind of give talks. So it gives you a chance to network even on the campus. They are hosting interview prep seminars. They help you rewrite your resume for Irish employers. There is so much help. So I'd really encourage any student to always touch base with them. They're another good account to follow on Instagram if you come to us, because they're very, very good at doing Instagram lives, and it's just a really handy way just to know exactly what they're offering. But I would always say no one can promise you a job. No one's ever going to just hand you a job. But we give you all the help so that you go and get it yourself. And that's obviously a nice feeling for you as well. I would like to ask about scholarships. Can we get, okay, I've answered that one. And I've answered that one. Okay. So are we supposed to pay instead of getting paid for the PhD programs, for example? Because PhDs are in general paid with scholarships. Yeah, so our PhDs, those students are typically kind of treated like staff. So the PhD office is a completely different office to mine, but all on the website, PhD or tudublin.ie/PhD. So what you'd need to do is you would need to make contact with the research school and just say what it is that you are looking to conduct your PhD in. And then it's up to them to say, okay, well, we have this funding for you. So that's where the payment comes in. We have supervisor for you. We have lab space. We have office space. So they will essentially make sure that you have everything. But yeah, you're right. It's that's how it's conducted at TU Dublin anyway. And something that's lovely about our PhDs as well is that they are structured PhDs. So we put on classes alongside. So it's not just like you're a PhD student and you're left to it. There's so much help for you to ensure that you kind of hit your research milestones and for the industry that you're researching for as well. Similarly, with how we keep in touch with the companies that we work with to kind of ask what skills and competencies this student needs. We do that for the PhD students as well, so that when you leave with your research as well, you've taken classes in like the core competencies and skills that you would need for your field. So it's nice. There's really a lot of help for PhD students too. And then the payment is also very handy. Can I have information about living expenses for students in Ireland? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Did I put that on the last slide? Anyway, so living expenses is all on our website as well. Typically, I would say it's kind of double the tuition fee. Now, rent may have gone down in Dublin a little bit with a bit more supply after COVID, but we have a breakdown on our website, and the breakdown includes everything you could think of. So we kind of over prepare students because I think it's much fairer and much more honest to list absolutely everything. And then you can see yourself that, okay, well, I won't spend that on my mobile phone, or I won't spend that on going out. And we've really included everything that we can think a student might want. And then working as well is going to bring that amount down. But yeah, it would be estimated like about 12,000 for the year. It's tough talking money. It's a lot, isn't it? What is the fee of computer science bachelor degree? When will expire the deadline of application? Okay, so the deadlines will be on the webpage, but it's typically going to be June of this year. So I'd encourage you to apply. And the fee for computer science, so typically computer science is 4 years, so it's €13,500 for a 4-year bachelor degree in a lot of areas. And then when you're looking at masters, typically it's going to be 14,000. So 13,000 and 14,500 euro. Is it possible to credit transfer from a Turkish university 2-year? It is possible. It's not something that I can advise on this type of stream though, because that's going to have to come from your academic. But essentially what I see happening in situations like yours is you are exempt from, I don't know what you studied, but let's just say it was a type of engineering, and then you want to either start from year 1 with us, or if you wanted to enter into year 2 or year 3, and you would show the academic. Then when you get your offer, you'd show the academic. Well, I see what all the subjects are, but I've actually studied this, this, and this. So it kind of frees up a bit of time for you. And they will say, okay, well, you're exempt from this class, so you don't have to sit those exams. But it's all done at academic level. It's not something even admissions would do. But if you get the offer, it's something that you can talk to the academic for. And while I'm on that, when you're on our webpage and you're looking at what the programs entail and all the different information, you'll notice to the right-hand side of the webpage, you'll see a contact number and a contact name and a contact email. And don't be afraid to drop them an email for questions like that about transferring credits or being exempt from certain classes. And actually, it's a really, really good thing that if you do make an application, reach out to the program coordinator, because they're going to be logging on to look at so many applicants. And if they have an email from you, they might see, okay, Ida, she emailed me. I'm sorry, I don't know who Ida would be, if it's male or female. But they will say, okay, I can see that student is really, really eager, and I remember they emailed me with different questions. So it'll make your application stand out as well. It's just a little tip that really helps students. Hello again. Oh, I wonder, does that mean you logged on before and watched? Merak, hello. How are the job opportunities for architects after master's degree program? Is the technological university a right choice for a master's degree in architecture? Good question. That's something that I can answer over email to you, Merak, if you wouldn't mind maybe dropping me an email. So our master's degree in architecture is really quite new. So I don't have the stats on where those students have gone and what architecture firms they are working in, but doesn't mean that I can't find it out for you. So I can ask the architecture school, but we've had a 5-year undergrad architecture program running for so long, and the master's is quite new. So I just would like to be completely honest with you and get the correct information. Again, it's something that don't be afraid to reach out to the program coordinator and ask themselves as well. Can we get conditional acceptance if we can take required IELTS score? Yeah, I mean, yes, you can get an offer, yeah, to say that that's something that the admissions will basically say. So if you have all the other credentials and then they say, if you get the 6.5 in the IELTS, we will convert this into a full offer. Yeah. A lot of students apply without something because a lot of students would be in their final year in high school and they're applying now, and sure, they're not sitting their exams until May and June. So it's the admissions office are completely used to that. There is a lot of questions. This is good. How does the orientation process go? And do you assist students with their needs for the first few months? Yeah, we have so many different departments that are there. Like I said in the presentation, there is student services. So, for example, I mean, registering is one of the most important things when you get to Ireland and you have to register your status as a student, because obviously for international students, then that has a ripple effect on you then going to immigration and registering your status in Ireland. So when you register, you've got student services, so they will sit you down, take your picture, give you your student card. The student card then gives you access to be able to apply for the travel card, which we call a LEAP card. So you can get around buses, trams, trains on this certain card, but you obviously get a student discount. So I always say, like, registering with us is kind of like the golden ticket that you can then go on to do so much more. So then when you register with us from student services as well, you can get a letter. So that letter might be because you want to open up a bank account in Ireland. The letter might be for a landlord that you're trying to rent from. The letter might be to go along with dropping your resume into a coffee shop to get a part-time job. Then you've got your IT services, which falls under student services as well. So you want access to your online kind of presentations. Well, you know, we're going to be physically in class or whatever, but, you know, your email and all the different services online. We have international office. We have a student experience officer, excuse me. So there's so many people around to help. As I said, there's counseling. There's going to be events put on by the student union. There's going to be an introduction to all the clubs and societies. Like the first couple of weeks are absolutely mayhem in a good way, because there's so much to find out. There's so much to learn. There's so much to get set up. But we usually put on student orientation, and it's been online obviously the last 2 years, but we kind of go through all of those things, like the flow of things of what you need to do. So yes, we're well used to it. Do you have online programs? Not completely online. I mean, COVID kind of forced us online. Whether they're going to offer just online, that hasn't been decided yet. We were just very eager to get back on campus because we have such a fabulous and brand new campus. But again, you will see on the program page if it's something. I guess it's a staffing issue as well, because the academics want to be in class and teaching students in their kind of small class environment. And yeah, as it stands now today, there's like 60 to 70% of the program is conducted physically, and the rest is online. So you might be like at home online 1 day a week, which I think is enough for students. Is there a physics master's degree like solid state or nanotech? We have some physics programs and it touches on nanotech. I'm not sure if it's a master's though. I think it might be undergrad. Our undergrad program, the suite of programs is huge and we pretty much have everything except for medicine and dentistry and stuff. But Mariam, I can send you that information after. What is my email? I will give it to you now. Is it a safe place? Yes, I mean, I'm biased because I live here. I've lived here all my life and Irish people are so friendly and it is a safe place. Obviously, there's people all over the world who can make any place unsafe, right? But I really love Ireland, and I wouldn't be on here kind of encouraging students to come over if I didn't think that. I would just say to have your wits about you as well. And that's something in our student orientation actually that we organize, is that we have a police officer come on and talk and just kind of give tips about safety, and just to let you know that, you know, the police walk around the streets. And as an example, because this is something that I would have a culture shock when I visit other countries, but our police officers walk around and kind of will police the streets completely unarmed. Like when I go to other countries and I see a police officer with a gun, I'm like, oh, like it's so not used to that. So that's an example that just shows that they don't need to arm themselves to the public. But yeah, no, I think Ireland is very safe and lovely. Do you suggest homestays or dorms? Completely up to you. Absolutely completely up to you. And as I said, you can register with the student pad, it's called, on the accommodation section of our website. And you can have access to the list of, say, homestays, and then maybe get their number and have a Zoom with them, and you can see, okay, I like that family. They seem really friendly, and I'd like to stay with them for a month. I think that's probably the best way because, yeah, it's kind of a good way to meet people before you land, so you're not completely in the dark of what someone is like. And then the dorms, the student accommodation is going to be a bit more fun, isn't it? You're going to meet more students, and they have security on the dorms, the student accommodations, but you're not going to be on campus. You're going to be kind of just outside the campus. So it's completely up to what anyone is kind of interested in. Well, thank you so much for your little comments, and I'm going to leave my email here. I have been talking way too much. And what I will say is I am actually going to be physically with this lovely crowd who organized this in Turkey in April. I don't know the dates, but keep an eye on their website, and perhaps you can come to some of the events and we can talk in person. And hopefully then you've made an application by then, and hopefully you have an answer, and we can kind of talk about what stage you're at, whether it's the visa stage, whether you really need to figure out accommodation, because right now it's just information overload, isn't it? So I just want to thank you so much for your time again, and I have one more of these on March 1st if anyone wants to suffer through it again, but hopefully I can see you in person.
Hi Sarah, we have another question. I think it's the last one.
Yeah,
Could
I
you
heard the little
that?
Yeah. Because of COVID-19, I haven't retaken the language exam. Do you accept language exam documents if their date is expired? No, it would have to be, admissions will be quite strict on that. It would have to be not expired. So sorry about that.
Yes, thank you very much for your answers. You covered all of the questions. Thank you for your presentation.
No problem. No problem. Hopefully I get to see people in person in April. So thanks, Zainab.
Yes, we also believe it was a really informative session for the attendees. And also I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Technological University Dublin ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için chat kısmında paylaşılmış olan mail adresinden Sarah'a ulaşabilirsiniz. Umarız sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Yarınki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, Sarah. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you. Teşekkür ederim. Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.